Hey everybody, so I've been doing kind of an informal review on the speed squares, and I got two different brands here. I've got a Swanson and an Empire. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. They usually sell them at Home Depots. They're both made in America. They are both aluminum. They both have the same Hip and Valley Commons measurements, all that for doing your rafters, but they have a couple of differences, and I've been doing some framing, and I found which one I like better because of a couple of small differences. So the main difference that you're going to notice right off the bat is the numbers and marks on the two. This is etched in here, but it's very, very slight, and it is painted white, and then there's a blue paint on here, okay? And there's no painting. It's raw aluminum, but the etching for all your marks is very deep. I would say it's probably a good 32nd of an inch or 64th. It's pretty deep. It makes the marks a little bit wider. Because it is so deep, the mark ends up to be a little bit wider. And so this is going to look a little bit, to the layman, this might look a little bit more rough, okay? Not as precise as this. These marks are as wide as what you would see on your measuring tape. They are that precise. Now, that seems like it's better, but this is all a paint on here. And so over time, this can get scratched off. I have another, this one isn't too bad, but I have another tool from Empire that's the same deal. And it was in my truck, apparently, in the trailer, and was rubbing against something else. And it's got a section that is rubbed completely off, and you can't read it at all. I think that's a big deal over time. So I think that gives a nod to the Swanson as being durable. I can't imagine you'd ever scratch this thing enough to be able to not read this. Now, there's a couple of bigger deals that are a problem for the Empire. There's measurements here, and the same on the Swanson. It takes it, when you first get it and you've never used one before, it might take you a second to understand the Swanson, but there's marks here, and there's a circle at the end of the mark that indicates the inch mark, and then you've just got the half and the quarters on your measurement. This has all your measurements down to the eighth on here, but it is a little harder to read. It actually has it's marked as inch. It says 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So you get a little bit more measurement out of the Empire than you do out of the Swanson. But it is, again, harder to see. What I use that for is when I am marking my layout. I mark at, if I'm doing a 16 layout on studs, I'll mark at the 15 1/4, and I will put my square up to that 15 1/4 mark, and then I can go over, using these marks, I can go over 1.5 inches and mark again, and I have my stud on both sides. That some people don't do that. I do that in case I have a helper with me. It's something I learned when I first started. It means that I don't have to think about my layout when I go to put my studs out. I've got a mark on both sides. It's an extra step, but it's something that I do. If it's something that you do, it is going to be easier to see your marks here, again, because they're wider, they're deeper, they're easier to see, where you've got very small, very thin marks here, and it's really hard to read because it is so small. It became a big deal for me. doing my layout. The other thing that's missing off of the Empire is these little notches. And if you've ever tried to rip plywood, you just need to rip 1.5 inches off of plywood, and you can lock this on the side, put your pencil into that notch at your 1.5 inches, and you can slide down the side of the plywood, and you've got a line at 1.5 inches. I use that all the time, and I've used these notches a bunch for doing that. You can also do, again, if you're trying to mark over, you don't have to pull your tape back out. You can just do that with these notches. It becomes very easy because your pencil fits right in the notch. You know you've hit it. You don't have to look really carefully and make your mark. This does not have that. You would have to go up here to do that, and it just is. It has the potential for mistake. The other thing that is a pretty big deal is your 3.5 mark here. Okay, there's some things you do with rafters and layouts that you would need to mark your 3.5 repeatedly. Now, they have the same thing, the same cutout on the Empire, but the Empire has the place that you would mark, the actual 3.5, is this edge. It is actually right on that edge. The cutout is just for your pencil. So you fit your pencil in here, you would mark this edge, down this edge, and you would have your 3.5. The problem is, if you're using a carpenter pencil, they're rarely sharp enough to hit that 3.5 with any accuracy, because again, it's right at the edge of the aluminum. Something that you would probably need a number 2 pencil to actually hit with any accuracy. The Swanson has a brilliant idea here. They've made the 3.5 cutout as a diamond, and so it fits your carpenter pencil or any pencil perfectly. And if you put that in there, it centers it, and you've hit the 3.5 every time. Without any thought, you've hit that 3.5. So those couple of things, just the kind of clunkiness of the layout on this side, and the 3.5 mark, made the framing job I just finished a little bit harder. I mean, just frustrating in the minute details. But again, you can use this. It has all the same things. Oh, it does have one, I want to mention this, it does have one benefit over the Swanson. On the back here, it has all of your hip valley measurements all laid out, already on a little cheat sheet on there. But I was doing I was looking at this, and I was doing my valley, and oh, that's a nice feature. I don't have to get the book out or remember the math in my head. It's all laid out here for me. But again, it's very slight, and so part of it had rubbed off, and I wasn't able to read it because it had rubbed off. This does not have that. It does have a book that comes with it that has all that information in it. If you don't know those already, it does have the book that has all that information in it. So you don't need that. It's a nice to have, but it doesn't have enough benefit to override that. I think that the Swanson is a superior tool, and I don't think that they have made any. I don't think that this is so this is not something I'm going to keep with me. I'll throw this in the garage or something as a spare, but it's not unusable, but it is just it's just those slight differences that just kind of irritate me. Maybe I'm just old school, I just like my Swanson, but I think that the benefits of the Swanson outweigh the benefits of the Empire brand. So that's my 2 cents. If you have any experience with these, or you have any tips on using a square for new carpenters, put them down in the comments and let's hear them. So let's keep the comments respectful. And if you have a difference of opinion with me, please just express your difference of opinion. No, let's not bring each other down. Let's build each other up. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.